The next thing was time. Why is time important? Round the numbers, how old are you now?
35.
Okay, so if you reach the average age of an American, you have just over 17,000 days left to live. And I think all of that goes to show that time is the currency we're playing with in every moment of our lives. It's the center point of our influence. I talk about the roulette table of my life. It's the frame I think through, where we wake up in the morning with these 24 chips. If you spend 8 hours sleeping, you wake up with 16 chips left. And how you place those chips on this roulette table that sits in front of us just before the wheel spins every day determines all of our outcomes in our lives.
So that one question that will determine where you are in 6 months is this: what do you want to make happen in the next 6 months of your life? I'm going to ask that question again. What do you want to make happen in the next 6 months of your life? And I want you to really consider that.
Don't do something you don't want to do. Why are you wasting your time? There's so little time on this earth. Life goes fast. What is it, 4,000 weeks? That's your lifespan. And yes, we hear that, but we don't remember it. But I guess I'm keenly aware of how little time I have, so I'm just not going to waste it.
It's not all I'm never gonna get to that where everything's okay, where everything looks a certain way. And in the meantime, I'm burning the best time I do have available. I'm burning that candle up. I'm burning this candle down, and I'm saying as soon as it gets bright enough or warm enough in here, I'm gonna show up. But the candle's getting smaller.
Day 1, you choose this one. Day 2, because you're not in the mood, the first one you didn't like so much, it was too exhausting, you choose the second style, or maybe another teacher. And so what you're ending up with at the end is a patchwork. It's you mix together out of everything that's in a way accessible, but ultimately what comes out is also unstructured.
Yeah, when does that story end? Like when? If not now, when? Like, what 50% of that story, according to the research on memory, 50% of it isn't even the truth. Person is reliving a miserable life they never even had.
Wow.
All to
We've imagined it. We've created an imagination.
all to reaffirm their addiction to that emotion connected to the belief that they can't change.
Losers wing it through life. Losers think that they still have more time to get there. Losers measure themselves by the losers that they surround themselves with. And they go, well, I still have time. They're not doing anything extravagant in life, my friend. So I'm probably on track. No, you're not. You're all behind track. That's the problem. You're all behind schedule. You're all late to the party.
It's time to wake up. Wake the up, bro. Enough with the bullshit, enough with the excuses, enough with the nonsense, enough with being in a situation where you're always complaining, where you're always pointing fingers. Point the fingers at yourself. The life that you have is the life that you chose. If you don't like the life that you have, it's your damn fault, dude. Change. Make different decisions. Hang out with different people. Instill some discipline, some habits. Win.
Do you view this season as a failure?
Do you get the promotion every year on your job? No, right? So every year you work is a failure. Yes or no? No. Every year you work towards something, towards a goal, right? Which is to get a promotion, to be able to take care of your family, to be able, provide the house for them or take care of your parents. You work towards a goal. It's not a failure. It's steps to success, you know. And if you've never, I don't want to make it personal. So there's always steps to it, you know. Michael Jordan played 15 years, won 6 championships. The other 9 years was a failure. That's what you're telling me. I'm asking you a question. Yes or no? Okay, exactly. So why are you asking me that question? It's a wrong question. There's no failure in sports. You know, there's good days, bad days. Some days you are able to be successful. Some days you're not. Some days it's your turn. Some days it's not your turn. And that's what sports is about. You don't always win. Some other people's gonna win. And this year, somebody else is gonna win. Simple as that. We're gonna come back next year, try to be better, try to build good habits, try to play better, not have a 10-day stretch with playing bad basketball, you know, and hopefully we can win a championship.
Yeah, but if you're somebody that goes to work every day and says like, I don't want to be at this desk, I don't want to be in this cubicle, I don't want to be in this office, there's something out there that is more for me than this, then you already have the bug. Then it just becomes, do you die with the bug or do you do something about it before you die?
And he said, you can't necessarily escape the suffering. So you might as well choose something in life to do that is worth suffering for. Because not doing anything at all out of fear or out of uncertainty will also make you suffer. Because you know that there's something inside of you that wants to do said thing.
People don't really give up on their dreams. They see what it takes to get their dreams and then decide it's too expensive. I think that if we make who we become the goal rather than the thing that we achieve, instead of winning once a decade, we can win every day.
We all want to read about how we can quickly get somewhere. That's why the 6-minute abs and all sort of shit so powerful. You may get some results from it, but they're not permanent. The permanent result comes from you. I say it all the time. You have to suffer. You have to make that a tattoo on your brain, so when that hard time comes again, you don't forget it.
Everything is a choice, G. Everything is a choice. The life that you have is the life that you chose.
You have to live purposefully. People are just going with the flow.
The life that you have is the life that you chose.
Exactly, yeah, it's true.
Where you're currently living, what you're currently doing, you chose that. You have people complain about having kids, people complain about having responsibilities, people complain about their rent, people complain about their student loans. Most of these things in life are self-imposed.
You might have just completely missed. You might just end up in the wrong profession, the wrong place, the wrong people for 30 years of your life grinding away. And yes, the best time to figure that out was before, but the second best time is now. So just change it.
But if you're somebody that goes to work every day and says like, I don't want to be at this desk, I don't want to be in this cubicle, I don't want to be in this office, there's something out there that is more for me than this, then you already have the bug. Then it just becomes, do you die with the bug or do you do something about it before you die?
But what would cause even more suffering and more pain is just sitting back on my hands and not doing anything. Because now nothing will happen for sure. And now I also have to sit with the weight on my shoulders of knowing that I'm not doing something that I'm supposed to be doing.
But I try to reframe that pain that comes from doing the things that I don't want to do the things that I do want to do, as the price tag required to become the person that I want to become. And so if we think about the traits of any person, so it's like if I want to be patient, then I can't expect things to happen faster, right? Like if we were to go to the end of our lives and say, hey, I want these character traits. It's like, well, if you had to play a character, in a video game and make them that way, it's like, well, what would you have to put them through in order to get those traits? It's like, well, if you want patience, then you're not going to get things quickly. If you want to have endurance, it's like you have to be able to tolerate suffering, right?
No, they don't. Like a doctor told me that. I go, you don't know what you're talking about. I'm like, you don't know what you're talking about because most people don't push themselves past that pain, that stretch pain.
Right. People want to put a title on you, man. It's easier for them. Oh, you're just natural.
Exactly.
You're natural.
Exactly.
No, you don't work hard enough, motherfucker. And every day, you don't start with the victories. You don't go, oh, this is nice. Look at my I love me wall. Let me clean up this little dusty. No, I go right for the things that are gonna keep me buried. And I go right there first, because if I don't clean those out first, the day doesn't start.
Again, I think of everything in terms of cost. Everything comes at a cost. You want to make a ton of money and be rich and famous? It comes at a cost. You want to prioritize your health and your joy? It comes at a cost. You want to be obsessed with taking care of other people? It comes at a cost. Like, you have to just weigh the costs. And like, when people say you should never quit, or you should know when to quit. Well, which one of those is true? And I believe that you should know when to quit. And the time to know when to quit is when the cost is no longer worth it. The cost becomes too high. But for every decision we make, every single decision we make, personally or professionally, it has a cost.
It was the self-discipline that I had to survive, I was weak, to thrive. No one said, hey man, you're 297 pounds, man. I'm gonna help you out. I'm gonna help, hey man, you're not smart. I'm gonna help you out. I had to work at all this shit. I had to overcome, and it self-disciplines everything. And if you don't have it, I don't look at you right, because I know you're capable of more. Thinking they're gonna learn something different. No, you're lazy. You know exactly what to do. Because even me, in my state of, I can't read and write, I knew exactly what to do. It just sucks doing it. It sucks to do it.
Thinking it was finally that point where I just believed in myself, where I knew, like, I know what to do. I know what I'm capable of, and like, I'm going to come in and win if I do it. So I never even thought about it, but
that is a champion mentality, right?
What does it mean to become unshakable? That you want to develop yourself in such a way that you can be the rock for others where people go to hold on to. Not the other way around. You don't want people playing around with you and you yourself don't know, where are they pushing me? Where am I moving? This is, you're shakeable. This is, you're movable.
Because you have to want it. You have to want to be better. And it starts off with, you have to have pride in yourself. You have to have pride in yourself. You have to have, there's something about you, whether it's your last name, whether it's just the smallest thing. You have to be proud of yourself. And if you have no pride in yourself, I can't give it to you.
Because you're always going to compromise. You're always going to fold.
Always.
However, if you lose your reputation with yourself, if you no longer trust you, I don't keep my own word. I know that I'm not a trustworthy person. I keep making promises to myself and to other people, and I keep on breaking them. I keep doing something that hurts other people, or the same person. They don't trust me anymore, and I don't trust me anymore.
And you're 100% right. It all comes back to being a very personal act.
And I think a lot of times what we do is we put in, I can just say this for myself, we don't go all in because we're kind of afraid it's not gonna work.
Yeah.
And secretly, you know, if you kind of half-ass it a little and you don't go all in, you can kind of blame that. But it was
an excuse. I didn't really try. It's okay that it didn't work, you know.
But
I didn't go all out.
But what I love about what you're saying, this core principle around healthy arrogance, is cultivating belief in self.
Especially at the beginning, you just need to use whatever fuel you've got.
Yeah.
And
just go.
Yeah, this is, again, it's model the rise, not the result. It's all well and good saying, it's this beautiful balance, you know, I don't really think about the chip on my shoulder or the parents that didn't believe in me or the teachers that were mean to me at school. Well, yeah, because you used that fuel when you needed to get off the launch pad.
You become very, very powerful when you overcome yourself. All those things you once cowered from, you were afraid of, when you face them eye to eye every day, you now become a person who has a great podcast.
Are you going to go for it or not? Yeah, but being asleep all the time is difficult. Yeah, and that is the reason you don't want to sleep right now. You want to be awake. You want to be awake, and you want to be clear. Being awake and clear. Now your life is in your hands. Being numb, being under drugs, being I don't know, being smoky in the head, I don't know how to say. It's difficult. Be awake and be clear.
Whatever it might be, like, that should freak you out. And and that was my answer to him, was like, hey, look, you don't get over it, right? You manage it.
Yeah.
You manage it, you get through it, you do your best to de-risk as much as you possibly can. But none of this stuff in business is just add water, right? It is all risk.
And if you want to feel a great regret in life, it's making a decision against your instinct and then it failing. Making a decision in line with your instinct and then it failing is much less of a place to fall from than making a decision against your instincts and then it fails. And I've sat with so many people in the media industries who've done daytime talk shows. Actually, I had one on my podcast, and she said to me, you know, the part that hurts the most is I knew the show sucked. And I didn't speak out and say it didn't. I always say to my team, and I've said this to my manager who's in the room now, I said, we're doing a new TV show, right? And I said to him, I want to fail at something that I believe in. Because failing at something that I didn't believe in will suck more than any pain in my life.
I think that when, like we said earlier, I think that, you know, it's like you're an artist, right? And you have a canvas. You want that canvas to be good quality canvas and that you can paint on, you make that beautiful picture. So if the canvas or the patient is not quality, they don't have good tissue or good metabolism and good health, no matter how great of a painting you draw, no matter how great of a surgery you do, you're gonna have a bad outcome.
Yes. And I think this is one of the things sometimes is that we all have skills that are valuable somewhere. And they may not be the skills that you want to do for the rest of your life.
No, but the season of life.
But the season of life. And I think there's something to be said for that because we all want to be paid for what we love doing. But even my life today, there's a lot of things I have to do.
Yes.
And there's a lot of things I love to do. And that's life.
I want you to disappear for 6 months. Tell everyone that you know that you're going to disappear for 6 months. Tell your friends, I'm gone. I can't watch football with you. I don't care about March Madness. I've got to disappear for 6 months because I'm going to change my life.
So a lot of people like spend years being like, I'm going to start a business one day. It's like, you can do it tomorrow. You could literally do all of this tomorrow. And then it's like, okay, well then how do I get the person to exchange money? It's like, well, you reach out to the people you know, right? You open your phone.
Start where you are. Period, full stop. Start where you are. Atlanta right now today is the busiest on-location production hub in the United States.
Wow, I didn't know that.
Absolutely true, yes. It was not like that when I started off, when I moved to Atlanta some 30 years ago now. It was not. Start where you are.
And I open that up without complacency. Like, start now. That doesn't mean time's on my side. Yeah, dude, inshallah. When it happens, it'll happen. No, like, wake up. Clock's ticking. It's on your side. Now just move with it.
As a man, you have to outline, what are my duties? And your duty is to attack your goals, to chase your dreams, to set dates and deadlines that you want to achieve these. And these dates and deadlines must become non-negotiable for you.
How many times have you said, once I do this, I deserve rest? Once I do this, then I'll allow myself to take a break. Rest isn't a reward. Rest is a requirement.
A reminder that the life that I'm living today is a result of the work that I did 6 and 12 months ago. And so if you were to look at my calendar 6 and 12 months ago, then you might extrapolate out to what I'm doing today. But just like people want the immediate reward, they also see their current condition as a result of the behavior they're doing today, when it's not at all.
But some people listening to this podcast are like, I'm all in. I don't want to do this anymore. I'm going to change my life. And now's the time that I'm going to change my life. When you bring your head up in 6 months, you will be a different person. And then you fast forward 5 years, your life is vastly different than if you just decided to stay on the same path that you've been on this entire time.
The difference between time moving forward without you and you moving forward with it is taking a minute right now to figure out what you want to make happen during that time.
You gotta mean it. You gotta believe it. You gotta believe you're the most important person on the planet to achieve the success. And I don't mean sort of successful, a little bit, I mean outsized success, right? Life is hard and life is short. Let's dream. Let's dream in color. Let's go for it. What if you get it? What if you get it? Stop saying, what if I fail, and start saying, what if I succeed? How cool would that be? You deserve to succeed.
But some people listening to this podcast are like, I'm all in. I don't want to do this anymore. I'm going to change my life. And now's the time that I'm going to change my life. When you bring your head up in 6 months, you will be a different person. And then you fast forward 5 years, your life is vastly different than if you just decided to stay on the same path that you've been on this entire time.
Just do. You're living. How do you want to live? How do you want to die? How do you want to be remembered? That's it. That's it. Period. Like a lot of people have these great quotes and they mass produce. I can't mass produce something, man.
Right.
And they have these great quotes and shit, but are you living that?
What you're gonna make happen in the next 6 months. Because time is gonna keep moving, whether you do or not. And after today's workshop, one thing is for sure. You're not gonna let that time just pass you by, because you are gonna make something really cool happen in the next 6 months.
And so you just decide, you know what, I'm gonna literally just flip my life on its head in the next 6 months, and I'm going to learn one high income skill, and I'm going to become obsessed with it. I'm going to buy every book that I can from it. I'm going to watch every YouTube video that I can from it. I'm going to read every book that I possibly can. And you take 6 months to start learning and mastering one skill.